How's it going, guys? FullspectrumRC here. I'm going to be doing a review on the Losi 22 today. So, this is the Losi 22 Buggy. This is the kit. I did not buy the RTR. In fact, it was the first kit I ever purchased, ever, and built myself. I had been through plenty of models prior to that, but it's not get into that. This here, I haven't done a review mainly because I tend to like to have a buggy or any RC for a while before I decide to tell anybody my opinion on it. I've gone through a lot of RCs, I did a lot of deals, and a lot of cases I barely even driven some of them. Now, this buggy here has been excellent. Excellent. It's been phenomenal from day one. I never had a problem with it other than a couple minor issues. I rarely break it and I beat the hell out of it. This is all coming from a basher's perspective. I bought it with the idea that I would be racing, but mostly bashing. This buggy here, often enough I was going to work and it would take me an hour to take the bus. I lived in the GTA, and between stops this buggy came with me everywhere. I would throw it in my backpack and have the remote with me every single day, and it was an extra set of tires, one set for on-road and one set for grass and dirt, and this thing got a good 2 hours of driving every day, at least 2 packs, 3 packs, at least every single day. Like I said, I rarely broke any parts. The only things I ever wore out were my differential balls, and after, it's hard to say, maybe a month or two of the way I was driving it, I would have to replace the steering assembly. Now, getting to the steering assembly, I'm not sure where they were going with this. I think they were aiming at more of the carpet racing scene, and they never really anticipated the amount of dirt that would actually get in there. I often enough have my steering lock up on me whenever I'm hitting any like gravel or anything like that, or even going in reverse on dirt, because it throws a little bit of stuff up there and it gets jammed right in that little plate. If you guys want to see here, this whole assembly here actually runs on a slider. Now, I'm kind of out of date doing a review on the 22 in 2014. They've actually come out with the new buggy already that actually addresses many of the problems that were with this buggy, including the steering. They went back to a standard, normal setup, like any other buggy. They changed the shocks a little bit. One of the things a lot of the racers have said is that they like to cut the rubber on the inside of there because it jumps better, apparently. I haven't changed it. I've just changed shock oils. It's been so long since I changed the oil on this now, since last season, that I couldn't even tell you what I'm running right now. I very rarely break this thing. When I took it on the track, the few times that I did, I did break this here. I immediately upgraded it. I did break my rear camber block all the time, so I replaced those with aluminum. I also replaced the hub carrier in here with aluminum after actually good 8 months. I had actually only broken it maybe twice, and it wasn't a big issue, but I decided I just wanted to strengthen it up for if ever I was going to the track. I didn't want it to fail on me. But in turn, I managed to find a fault in what I did. One of the reasons I didn't want to pull it apart was because this interior assembly is a bit of work to get out. So if ever I broke these, which I was breaking them quite often in regard to this buggy, which, like I said, doesn't break very often unless I did something really stupid. And keep in mind too, I have a 6.5 turn Tekin motor in there. This thing is lightning quick. This is actually the only buggy I've ever recorded with a radar gun. And I got it up to 74 kilometers an hour on 3S. That's impressive to me. It was pretty crazy. It's a great, fast, amazing buggy. Now, this is also one of the things I did wrong by getting this 6.5 turn motor in there. I have an incredibly hard time gearing it down to the point where it is drivable on any kind of small track. I've messed with the programming of it, and the only way to do it is to drop the voltage, and I found that doing that I just don't get into my power bandwidths or something, and I just don't have the power behind it that I want or need. It won't take the jumps like it should, and it won't do what I want. I could replace it, but the fact is, where I'm living now, there's not really a track or anything besides what I make of it, so it's not really that big a deal. I just like to make people's faces melt when they see it fly down the street on road. In regard to driving on road, this is a great car when it has a lot of traction. One of the issues that they addressed in the new version of this car is the front steering assembly here, and toe and all that. I can't remember the exact degree they suggest now, but it was already something you could pick up at the hobby shop and change to give it a little bit better handling. It's a really well, I have a really fast buggy, so the fact is my tail end likes to slip out all the time anyways. But even in regular circumstances, it likes to oversteer a little bit, and that's one of the things that fixes it. I'm running a low profile Spectrum receiver in there, or Spectrum receiver and Spectrum servo. Really fast, really good. I only run it at about, I think, 6 volts. I can jump it up to 7, but 5 volts rather than 6. It's fast enough as it is. Running a Mammomax Pro, I kind of just threw it together. This is actually my first electric too. At the same time, I was running all nitro for the longest time, and I just knew the Mammomax Pro was a tried and true programmable, ready to rock ESC, and the brand name Tekin was awesome, so that's what I got. Other than that, guys, there's not really much to say here. Oh, actually, getting back to the problem with this was, when I replaced that with all metal, I would break off my ball links, and the threads in there would get jammed, and once that happens, the whole thing has to come apart, and I gotta drill it out. It's such a small area, and I've had instances where I've actually had to just snap parts because they're not coming out. Other than that, great buggy. I have a whole pile of parts for it that I never ended up using. I've just put it in the MIP diff. It's a lot better than the old. Well, I couldn't say the old one was good. It is a ball diff, so you're gonna have to maintain it a little more than if you threw in the gear diff in there. It's better for racing, I guess, but
I haven't bothered to change it out. It's probably a good idea in my case, but if ever I wanted to race this buggy, I want it to perform. So this is the way it's going to stay. I hope you enjoyed my first review, guys. Take care.